Trauma responses. I think it is time that we normalise trauma responses. As a community, most of us are living with some amount of trauma from our past or present, processed or unprocessed, aware or not. The stigma attached to personality disorders and many other psychiatric conditions just adds shame and guilt to emotional responses that are already enough of a cross to bear. Like so many of us, I have complex trauma. I have emotional intensity that floors me often. I have friends who hold me up when I can no longer do that alone. I have my own little village, a tribe of people who help me navigate all the challenges that come along with the diagnoses I have, which are really just clinical names for my internal experience, nothing more, nothing less. So here I am, sitting alone, in the throes of the latest spiral. This is what I name my emotional intensity episodes. My brain rapidly searching itself for answers, ways to gain relief over this distress, knowing the truth, my truth, that the only relief that exists is in sitting with the intensity. Feeling it compassionately and without judgment. To know that the pain you feel is beyond any words could describe, but that it remains invisible to the untrained eye, just adds to what can only be described as lifelong punishment for the harm you experienced at the hands of others, whether that was at home, at school, or somewhere else. Every time I reach this point, I am convinced I will never be okay, that this is the spiral that will take me out. That nothing and no one can make this okay, but I sit and I breathe and I wait, for that is all I can do. With the love and support of those who understand what I am living with the communication skills to name and number my spirals, 1 to 10 indicates the amount of risk I am and the likelihood I will need their intervention to help me stay safe. By teaching those in my life, whilst I am well regulated, how to navigate the most extremes of my distress, and by my absolute determination and courage to a journey of growth and healing, I have learnt how to survive, how to stay safe, and how to live within a support network of people, none of whom are ever harmed by the trauma I live with, and all of whom will hold my foundations for me when I begin to crumble until I can take the reins once again. They are one of the reasons I'm here writing this. They are one of the reasons I have survived. I owe more to the people who love me than they will likely ever know. Thing is though, in friendships there is balance. And I know I have and always will be there for them too. We look out for and hold space for each other. We call each other out and in when needed. We challenge. We do not validate every experience. And we are always brutally honest even when it hurts. I don't need yes people, I need real people who are not afraid of direct communication. I need people who are not afraid to be the root of a spiral because they and I know it is not their fault that the unprocessed trauma is there. Rule 1 of being my friend. I know, rules. Anyway, rule 1 of being my friend. Expect to be the root of many spirals and not take it personally. Rule 2 of being my friend. Expect me to be real with you. Rule 3 of being my friend, expect big squeezy bear hugs whenever I see you in person. See, they're not so bad really. Rule 4 of being my friend, expect that I may need you to tell me sometimes that I am worthy of life and being, because sometimes I just need to hear that shit. Rule 5 of being my friend, be on your own journey of growth and healing. I need to be surrounded by people who are working on themselves. It doesn't matter to me where you are on that journey, just so long as you have at least taken the first step, whatever that may be for you. Know that not all borderlines harm others. Some do, especially if they are unaware and not healing. I do not harm others though, far from it. I am a solo parent to a neurodivergent young person, and whilst he knows and understands about my diagnosis, he is unaware of the distress I feel in those moments. All he sees is akin to a parent who didn't sleep well last night. That is it. He is no more responsible for my feelings than anyone else. My emotions, my responsibility. So here I sit, headphones on, music blaring, tears streaming, rocking, hoping the internal distress passes. Hoping the internal distress soon eases and I can once again breathe without the heaviness weighing so deeply on my soul. This is what it's like to live with borderline personality disorder in the worst moments. The stigma society and the media has attached to various personality disorders is why so many remain unhealed. Avoiding the stigma of a diagnosis means avoiding the treatment that can help us heal, rid us of the stigma, and suddenly the gap between unhealed and the most appropriate therapeutic intervention is shrunk right down, and we will see so many more on this journey I am on. Isn't that the best outcome for us? Isn't that the best outcome for us? Surely. Every time I spiral like this, I find a way to hold myself in this life now, in this world. This doesn't mean I don't want to die. I don't want out. I don't want to cut. I don't want to silence the intensity in my mind. I do, with every fibre of my being. But I have tools now. I have learnt skills to reduce the intensity, to ride out the waves. I do that. And I have worked hard to be able to do that without causing harm to others along the way. I believe we can all do the work. We can all find ways so we don't continue the harm. I face this intensity often. Sometimes it takes everything I have in me to hold myself in the eye of the storm with a stoic strength that others may be in awe of. I didn't just wake up one day and know how to do this though. I have worked tirelessly to strengthen that muscle, to build and build until I got to where I am now. I firmly believe we can all begin this journey at any time in our lives and learn and grow and make change. We have to be the change that we want to see in the world. So here I am representing for the borderline personality disorder, avoidant personality disorder, and anancastic personality disorder. I have CPTSD, I am autistic, PDA and ADHD. I have physical disabilities too. I am showing up on a journey with a long, never-ending road to go. I am healing out loud so others know they can heal too. Break the silence, end the stigma, be the change.